this. So in one parts of Africa, so this like these outcasts, very barbarous people were there. So in one time, one missionary saw the signboard, the wanted, the message. Oh, who will go to that place? Because whoever missionaries went there, everyone died. Everyone was killed. So nobody volunteered to go as missionary in that land because it's a very dark and also a very notorious place. So nobody wanted to go. He, in the beginning, when he was growing, he wanted to be a missionary. But later on, slowly he lost his zeal. And also, one day he had an accident. So he lost his two legs. He had cut his two legs. So in despair, he felt that, oh, my missionary life is finished. So even he tried to commit suicide, but he couldn't die. So in that kind of a desperate life he was living. So one day when he saw that announcement, who will go to that Africa, dark Africa, and save lost souls? He saw that announcement. It really touched his heart. Just 5 minutes. And then he volunteered to go as missionary because rather than commit the suicide, people will say he killed himself. So it's much better to be killed by barbarians, and then at least he can do missionary work, right? So people say, so that's why in order to die, he volunteered to go to Africa. So when he went to Africa, so at that time, because he lost his two legs, so he had two artificial plastic legs, no? Because he lost his leg. So when he reached Africa, and then many people, especially those Africans, were very happy because another food came. Right? So they were very over happy. So before his arrival, another missionary just died also. So when he went there, because he was determined to die, he was not afraid. But when the barbarians, Africans, felt excitement and approached him with the drums, with the drums approaching nearby him. So as a human being, he was also scared at that moment, because at that very moment he was devoured by them. So suddenly, he felt that, oh, I have to pray to God because this is my last moment. So he prayed to God. God gave him idea. The Holy Spirit told him, throw away your leg. No, the plastic leg, threw away. So just he heard the voice of God, and then just before he died, he threw his leg toward them. So they were very happy. They went and they tried to chew. But it's so strong, they couldn't chew. And then they said, oh, he's a mightier missionary than we ever seen. No? He's very powerful, like God. He's very powerful. So they all came. They bowed down before him. From today, we will serve you. We will obey you. No? So from there, he did mission work nicely, and then his mission work was very successful. We heard that. And sometimes God uses this misfortune. So if we have the heart to save lost souls, so if we are willing to give our life, then God uses any kind of person. So that's one very touching story. And now we go to Florence Nightingale. Yeah, she's very famous. Also, when I was young, I heard that she is the angel of white clothes. Are you there? Because usually nurses put on white clothes. So she is the angel of white clothes we used to hear. And then, so she was very, from very up class, means like a Brahman, the high class. So at that time, to be a nurse is a very lower job. But these days, we don't think a nurse is a very low class job. Even movie star or players, sports players, in older days, people thought that those who are not intellectual, low-class people, class people do that. So very ignored the job, right? But God has given her the heart to be a nurse. So in spite of all the parents' objection, even society's some ignoring all those things, God kindled her heart to be a nurse. So to be a nurse at this moment, in many hospitals, even this coronavirus and many people are dying, to sit before them, to take care of them, is not easy job. But through their sacrificial life, so she worked or promoted the job of a nurse to worldwide, because the nursing job was very, just like neglected, while people didn't acknowledge. But through her hard sacrificial life, so many nursing schools happened, many nurses came, so we can see many things, and also she is called the Lady of Lamp. To the dark place, she shone the light to the hopeless people. So it's a very somehow long. So this Crimean word, we just remember when this is a little bit older story, not recent story, like Queen Victoria. So this Crimean War. So this is a very severe war. So last time who came here, that evangelist Lee Hyunil, so he is also working in one hospital as a physical therapist. So these days, it's very difficult to take care of who are dying, because even in Korea, one medical doctor died because of infection. So it's a very sometimes a dangerous job. Also, at any time, they must be ever ready to go and help. So now I give time to Bench here, so she will give a presentation. After that, I will add some more points. Come. Maybe I want to be like her, like Angel. So because her calling from God is to help the needy, the poor, but also she recorded very well her life, also what she was doing. And then, so she left instructions that when she died, she asked that her body must be given to research for the medical assessment. So these days, many Catholics, they do as their last will. So they want to give their dead body to do. So later, next class we will do. So those who didn't present yet, then you just give, when you finish, then you just submit, then I will correct and give you back. And then also our assignments, last time as we have given you research work, all those things you have to keep. So she received a lot of award. When we go to this Kolkata, there is a Queen Victoria the palace, so memorial palace. So that means we assume the age during Queen Victoria time she worked. So just like a pioneer in one area, because when people didn't go deadline, because of her dedication and also very faithful service, people will come to realize the importance of nursing or taking care of others. Before that, nobody did it. No? As a high of class people, or parents also persuaded her to marry a man of outstanding in that society. But she pursued all those comfortable lives. And the only her aim is how to help those who are dying, those who don't get that kind of facilities or helping hands. So because of, one thing is that she has very strong determination. Also spiritually, she had a very good communion with God, communication with God. So she was determined of having personal union with God. That means she always had a very good relationship with God, and she wrote many books regarding also theology and those God's presence. So here, the pages number 3, Florence Nightingale calling for service. If we see a little bit more. So at a very young age, Florence was determined of having personal union with God, where she even recorded her prayer and looked for the amount of time for her prayers to be answered. That means she used to pray to God, and also she recorded, oh, how does God answer my prayer? She used to record God's answer, but didn't find any evidence. Rather, but in spite, even though she didn't find that clear answer, but she found God's presence in nature or in the accept of goodwill. We say Philadelphia means a kind of a good social service, good work to poor other people. Philadelphia means. So in her 30s, so she attended the church regularly and remained a nominal Anglican. But here, she was very influenced by a wide range of philosophies and theologies. That means she had that kind of a desire to know about God more. So including the medieval Roman Catholic mystics, Lutheranism, the teachings of John Wesley, and social progress and public service elements of Unitarianism. Do you understand Unitarianism? Means they don't just pursue the idea or knowledge, but they usually more pursue some practical things which will be useful. So not only abstract things, thinking, but in reality will be more useful. They kind of, like that is Unitarianism. So she often described it as an entering into a new period of service or process of perfection. So she pursued her perfection, and she believed that she was called to aid the poor. That is her calling. A calling that ignited her commitment to train nurses and work for reform for the poor. So God inspired her to work for the poor or the needy. So she frequently referenced Luke chapter 1:38. So Jesus also quoted this one. It is such a blessing to have been called, so however unworthy, to be handmaid of the Lord. So that means like Mary, the mother of Jesus. So when the servant gave that word, your son, you will have a baby, and your son will be called as Jesus, who will save his people from sin. So when she heard that kind of news, then God's word will be done. I am just like a humble maid servant of God. So this Nightingale also had that kind of a servanthood attitude to serve. So she is the handmaid of the Lord. So now we don't deal with, but also Mother Teresa, later we will study in Kolkata. So she is like a Catholic, but also she was called to work for the poor people. So in her place, I was very impressed is that she wrote, I am just like a small pencil in the hands of God. She mentioned that. I am just a not very long stick, even pencil, very short, leftover pencil. She considered that. And then her room was very simple, just like one bed, one table, one meeting place, that's all. No furniture. The room is very humble and simple. But even these days, many people continuously visit her, that nursery home, Mother Teresa's charity, that house. So this, the same Nightingale, she used to write letters to inform what's going on in those places. So this Crimean War, and when there's soldiers. So today, as we think about all the nurses who are working in this kind of coronavirus situation, so maybe they also sometimes face this kind of dangers. But even then, they don't give up, and they do their very work, because that's their God's given profession to save the dying people or sick people. So through their life today, also we can enjoy this kind of hospital medical services. So in the beginning, nobody thought that if she didn't promote this nursing or medical side, maybe still it will be very outdated. But through this Nightingale, even this Ida Scudder, their hard labor to promote in medical line. So now we enjoy all the benefits to hospital. So two ladies who worked in medical field, so the Ida Scudder and even Nightingale, today we learn is that one thing is that they had a very strong personality, not to give in any other person's some objections. When they decide something, they just pursue. Because of that, they overcame all the hardships around that. So God used these two very wonderful ladies in healing so many people who are dying. Through also even Ida Scudder's life, in the beginning, at that time, caste system means even the women medical doctors are not considered high. So people didn't want to go to the woman doctor. Usually people prefer to go to men doctors. But through her, this medical accomplishments, later on, she was respected by so many others. So when I saw one picture on her birthday, all the the ladies and girls, even hospital, all the colleagues, she had their birthday celebration with all the people. So many people respected her, and also they showed their loyalty to her. So another person, last time I gave assignment to this lady, Margaret Shishak. I found the material last time in a real edited in one magazine. So her life story, this Takai Christian College, the founder, so was established. So last time in our library, we couldn't have the material, so now I found. So if you want to do this Margaret Shishak, then I'll give you this information, then you can do. So lastly, because this is not our missionary biography, you can